Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for Part-Time Team One's graduation or presentation day, excuse me. Happy first week of fall. It's very chilly outside. Most of us have our sweaters on. I would like to set up some expectations for you as far as how the format is going to go. So we're going to have one video of our team, 4 individuals who will each share their contributions to the project that they worked on. We should wrap up by 11:30. Right now, I'd like to pass it off to our CEO, Jessica Mitch, to share a message with you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. We are thrilled to have you here. We developed the part-time course for software engineering in response to the pandemic because there's so many people right now that are dealing with that, juggling so many different aspects of their lives, especially with the remote world, remote schooling, etc. And we wanted to make sure people still had the opportunity in a different format to come through our course and access these skills in a career in tech. We are very excited to share with you our first group of part-time graduates today. I am incredibly impressed with all these students. They have been with us for 6 months of learning, in addition to handling every other responsibility they have between work, raising families, and taking care of their lives. So we're really excited for you to see the work that they put together. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Jeanette to kick off the presentations. Thank you, Jeanette.
Thank you, Jessica. Today, we're going to present to you an app called Art Tracker. Art Tracker is an interactive mobile-first app built to explore public art installations in Durham, North Carolina. In the age of COVID, it is a safe and engaging outdoor activity that would appeal to many different types of participants. The developers who worked on this app are Kim Wheaton, Chris Lombardo, Allison Durham, and Taan Nguyen. All right, Dawn, go ahead and play the video. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kim Wheaton, and I'm a software engineer with a background in small business entrepreneurship and project management. I have a passion for visual art, environmental science, and all kinds of DIY projects because I love to figure out how to make things work. The project our team is presenting today is Art Tracker. This is a mobile app used to explore public art installations in Durham, North Carolina. The map-based app was developed using Python, Django, a Django REST API framework, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS with Tailwind. I'm going to talk about the overall user experience and navigation for the app. Chris will review the mapping features. Allison will talk about our database and backend functions, and Taan will describe styling elements. Durham is a city filled with art and is home to many, many talented artists. We developed this app to showcase all the creativity you can see when walking, cycling, or driving in the area. Also, in the age of COVID, we wanted to make an app for an engaging, safe, and socially distanced outdoor activity. We use Figma to outline user profiles and create storyboards. I developed detailed wireframes to work out the components of the app and how a user would navigate between them. I also created a style guide for the app to ensure consistency of color, text, and images. We considered many different types of users for the app, including new visitors wanting to explore the area, art enthusiasts learning about the local art scene, and local residents looking for something fun to do with friends and family. We also considered accessibility for our app, including whether sites were wheelchair accessible, and adding high contrast design features to improve readability for users with visual impairments. In the app is a map centered on Durham. Each marker on the map represents a public art installation. We included murals, sculptures, and painted crosswalks as examples of public art, all visible from sidewalks around town. A user can tap on any marker to open a pop-up window to see the art at that location. Within each pop-up window is a detail button that takes the user to more information about that art installation, such as title, artist, a description of the work, artist contact information, and whether the location is wheelchair accessible. There's also a drop-down menu that provides additional information, such as a page about our development team, a tutorial for the app, and a contact form. During the development process, I particularly enjoyed using JavaScript to create interactive elements such as the pop-up windows and links from the pop-ups to the corresponding detail pages. For the pop-ups, I added an event listener for markers by their map coordinates, and then employed template literals containing placeholders with expressions for work title, work photo, and work ID. I had to add a stop propagation event method to prevent multiple occurrences of the same pop-up from appearing on the map. A challenge we face as a team, which is very common for development teams these days, was working entirely remotely and often with asynchronous schedules. We were able to manage all of our tasks and shared workflow by creating sprints and creating tickets in Jira, as well as going through the iterative process of reviewing and merging pull requests in GitHub. I hope you enjoy learning about Art Tracker, and now I'm turning the presentation over to Chris.
Hello everyone. My name is Chris Lombardo. I'm a full-stack software engineer. Before we begin, allow me to briefly introduce myself, how I got to where I'm at now, and some things I'm interested in. To start off with, I'm a proud Marine Corps veteran. I'm a very outdoors type of person, whether it be fishing, hunting, playing sports, or enjoying a nice day on the beach with my family. I have a beautiful family, a daughter and one on the way. I am coming to software development from the trucking industry. I have been a truck driver since 2014 and recently took on a management role. However, that being said, it is time for a change of pace regarding my career path. I have always enjoyed working with computers and never really knew the internal and behind-the-scenes operations of software development. That is, until now. Momentum has taken me from knowing virtually nothing on this subject to being fully comfortable with using and implementing multiple programming languages. Upon beginning this course, I wanted to focus on front-end development, but as I progressed, I realized that I wanted to be more of a full-stack developer and really hone in on all aspects of software development. Going into our project, Art Tracker, I was given the task of providing an interactive map for the user. I wrote the JavaScript for this using Mapbox. The map fetches data from an API endpoint provided by Mapbox. This map has a few key features to focus on. One of the most important features here is the markers placed on the map that represents the location of each art piece. Another important aspect of this map is the ability, as a user, to receive directions to a specific point or marker. While we decided not to request the user's location at this time, this is still made possible by zooming in, placing the marker simply by clicking anywhere, like this, then clicking a second location, like so. You can scan through all your different types of directions, whether it be driving, walking, or cycling. This generates directions based on coordinates. In a future version of this app, the user will be able to generate directions by clicking on the markers themselves. As I progressed through the coding of this map, I was faced with certain challenges. One of the biggest challenges I had while creating this map was I tried to use Google Maps to begin with for the map. Upon attempting this, I could not obtain an API endpoint without creating an account and opting into a paid subscription. This forced me to pursue other avenues in creating a map, which Mapbox proved to be very user-friendly and, most important, free to use with a very in-depth walkthrough tutorial implementing their data. I hope you all have enjoyed learning a little about me, my journey, and the map I created for this app. I also hope that if you are ever walking through downtown Durham and are interested in art, that this app comes in handy for you. And now, to you, Allison.
Thanks, Chris. Well said. Hey, everyone. It's pretty amazing to think that just 6 months ago, I was only using a computer to play Minecraft and look up Minecraft-related things on Google. And now I'm a software engineer, and my team and I have built a pretty cool app. My name is Allison Durham, and I have a passion for solving problems. My background is in the STEM fields and also in massage therapy, both of which, as well as with software engineering, require a commitment to continuous learning and a creative approach to problem solving. I've always been interested in learning how things work, how they function, and how the pieces interconnect in order to be able to make them more efficient and better able to serve the people that use them. I've had so much fun playing around with the back end of this app, and I hope to continue in that direction with my career. So in our app, Art Tracker, we were all involved in each aspect of the project, be it consulting, troubleshooting, or making adjustments to each other's code when our differing remote schedules mandated that we do so. We made this app using Django, which is a Python web framework that functions very similarly to a model view controller, but instead uses a model view template pattern. We used an object-oriented approach to programming, so there was work to do involved with constructing the classes that we would use to build each instance of artist and artwork. And after consulting with the team about the attributes that each type of object would need, I built the models that we used to design them. Being interested in back-end development and having worked with these models, I then wrote a script to create the objects that seed the underlying database and was responsible for building an API to allow our app to interact with the database and vice versa. We needed an API to be able to handle our data more quickly and to serve it in JSON. I chose to use Django REST framework to build it, partially because we were building the app with Django, but mostly because their docs are so clear and so helpful. In doing this, I gained experience building serializers and navigating issues that I hadn't seen before. Figuring out how to seed the database was perhaps the biggest challenge for me in the development of this app. Having a populated and functional database is critically important to the functionality of this app. Otherwise, there would be no markers on the map, no art to look at, no information to display. So our problems with this became apparent when we were facing migration issues with the database when trying to merge the branches from each finished ticket back to main. And we were also dealing with the fact that our objects were missing some of their more important attributes. Because our model for artist contains a many-to-many field, the script that I wrote was not able to pair the artist with the artwork, so I needed to figure out how to correlate them with each other in the database. Also, because the images would exist in a separate location and weren't yet in place, I was not able to include them in the script that seeded the database, so we would also need to figure out how to pair them with their corresponding artwork object for the purpose of having this app display the information that we want it to. So after a lot of stressing over the issue with the many-to-many field, and after scanning lots of articles on Google and posts on Stack Overflow about how to do what I wanted in the code or through the command line, I realized that this could be done in the admin side of the Django project. And so after that proved successful, we were able to pair the images for each artwork object similarly. So yeah, now all the data is populated in the database, it's paired with the correct corresponding data, and available to the API to be served to the app whenever someone clicks on a marker. I've really enjoyed being a part of this team and working on this project, and I hope that users will enjoy using it to explore the art around the city. Thanks. And now I'll pass it over to you, Taan.
Thank you for the handoff, Allison. Hello, my name is Taan. I have a background in sales and customer service. My interests include playing tennis, writing comedy skits with my fiance, as crazy as that sounds, playing board games, and solving puzzles. That love for solving puzzles and my passion for technology has set me on a career path as a software engineer. For this project, I mainly focused on the front-end development of the application. One aspect in particular was the styling of pages. I wanted to make sure that we had a mobile-friendly design because, as we all know, the way in which most of us interact with our applications and websites is through our mobile devices. As mentioned earlier, we did want to take into account the accessibility and readability of our applications for users and wanted to make sure that we kept the styling simple yet bold enough to keep your attention. So we made sure that we went with neutral backgrounds for informational details, simple fonts, but yellow for the background of our entire application, as we wanted something that kept your attention but still allowed for the full viewer experience for those within the color blindness spectrum. As you can see, for pop-ups, we kept a white background with simple fonts. As well as uniform and consistent styles among pages of our applications. So I did create an HTML template to load the information from our API database into individual pages for each of the art pieces. However, I soon found an issue in regards to the display proportions of the images on the page. The images would take up almost the entire page when viewed in desktop view, and more than the entire screen on smaller devices. This drove me to research CSS frameworks, and I found that Tailwinds would work best for our team's needs. It has a mobile-first design and modular configuration for individual aspects of a page by allowing developers to add CSS alterations directly to the class of an object or div. This allowed me to create a responsive design for the image. The items displayed will now scale and adjust based on the viewing size of the device. As you can see here, you can go to an Android device such as a Pixel 2, a large device such as an iPad, or smaller devices such as an iPhone. As you can see, it scales down the image and keeps everything within the borders and nice and easily readable. Tailwinds has allowed us to easily alter small aspects such as padding or alignment for individual pages to allow us to create the best user viewing experience. I hope that you have enjoyed learning about our Art Tracker application. Thank you for your time.
Hi, folks. Thank you so much for bearing with us through our technical difficulties. I do want to point out that we'll make sure that all participants will receive a clean version of this presentation after this is over today. I want to take a moment to point out how proud we are of the part-time one students. They did a fantastic job working over this past 6 months to bring to fruition a really great application. We couldn't be more proud of them, and we are excited to help them find their new careers as software developers. I would also like to take a moment to thank the Momentum community and Momentum alumni and partners for their support to the students. Your support has been paramount in their success over the last 6 months. I'd like to also introduce Katie Dunn, our Director of Career Services, who will give you a few parting messages.
Thanks, Jeanette. And congratulations, Kim, Chris, Allison, and Taan. That was really great. I can't wait to go check out some art in Durham this weekend. I wanted to just take a moment to let everybody who is on this call with us know that these 4 software developers will be graduated from Momentum in about an hour's time. And we're super excited for them and really proud of them. And they are all officially on the job market. So if your company is hiring junior developer talent and wants to talk to one of these folks, please feel free to reach out to them directly on LinkedIn or to reach out to me directly either via LinkedIn or my email, which is katie@momentumlearn.com. And also I wanted to let you know that if you have registered for this event, you will receive an email with each of these students' contact information. So you'll be able to reach out to them directly via email. Thank you so much for joining us today, and congratulations to our first ever part-time team. You all really set the standard really high for teams coming after you because you did a fantastic job with this app, and we're really excited for you. So thanks for joining us, everybody, and congratulations to our part-time team 1.